Thank you very much, Mr. Vinay Mehta, Mr. Pawan Goenka, Mr. Jain, Mr. Gupta, all the distinguished members of ACMA. My compliments to all of you on this 60th annual meeting. Another Diamond Jubilee, 2 in a row. And truly, you have come a long way. I was delighted to see the presentation that Shivanshu Gupta from McKinsey gave and some of the data points that were sent to me about the growth of the industry over the last 10 years. Your initiatives have truly pushed the industry to become globally competitive, and this continuous learning that you have been involved in. As you said, McKinsey's been working with you 5-6 years. And this kind of engagement with your members to help them become more competitive is truly unique for an industry association. In fact, today's program in every which way is reflective of the new normal. We don't have to shape the new normal. The new normal has shaped itself and come before us. We have to choose whether we adopt it or we miss the bus. And I'm delighted that through trade promotion, through technology upgradation, quality enhancement, measures to collect and disseminate information that can be useful for all your members, ACMA has been at the forefront of adopting this new normal, shaping the industry around the new normal, and preparing yourself for a very, very bright future that I think awaits all of us. After all, the times of crisis are budding and fertile grounds for massive change. All of us who have been in industry for many years know that it is only in the time of a problem or a crisis that the best comes out of our organizations, our people. You tighten your belt, you improve productivity, you start looking at every element of cost, you start looking at better and smarter solutions to your problems. You see how you can become, what will be the differentiating factor for you to become the preferred supplier to your customers. And in a variety of ways, history tells us that every time either there was a recession or our company went through a management challenge or a labor problem or any other crisis, we have not only overcome that, but we have done better in the years that followed. There's an old Arabic proverb which says, what is coming is better than what has gone. And hearing your presentation today, seeing the way your industry has engaged with the new normal, my own personal interactions with your senior leadership, your representatives, and the collaborative approach that I see in the entire auto component industry in every one of my interactions with you gives me the confidence that you are ready for the future. You are positively going to emerge victorious in the post-COVID world. We have already seen signs of that as India is unlocked. I'm given to understand tractor sales have already revived to very, very positive levels. Two-wheelers and three-wheelers are also showing very good traction. Passenger vehicles, in my humble view, and I mentioned it yesterday, little bit more features a little bit more innovation in marketing and financing, adopting some of the ideas that Mr. Gupta just highlighted to us to bring down costs, can truly bring back passenger vehicle segment in a big way. And as regards freight, why I feel confident that your industry will bounce back, the commercial vehicle sector, are two data points. One, in the railways itself, last month, we have been able to grow our freight traffic by 4% over the corresponding period last year. In the current month, the first 3 or 4 days, the trend is even better than that. And we will continue to persevere, improve the freight traffic. But it gives me the sense that the nation is coming back in terms of output, in terms of goods movement, and hopefully the scrappage policy also, which is expected to be finalized soon, will collectively help your industry to bounce back into better shape. I think the times ahead where the country has, in a sense, universally across the length and breadth of India, adopted the Honorable Prime Minister's clarion call for Atmanirbhar Bharat, for an India that is not inward looking, that is not exclusivist, but actually is engaging with the rest of the world from a position of strength, with confidence for the way forward, and with the commitment that not only will we move towards self-sufficiency, self-reliance, but we'll also expand our global engagement both ways, getting new technology, getting innovative ideas, wherever necessary, even importing capital goods or equipment or components to balance our entire requirement. But overall, looking to expand India's own engagement in global trade. Of course, the ideas that Mr. Gupta gave were also opening my mind to newer ways of doing things, some of which I mentioned yesterday, about how auto manufacturers could possibly use innovative financing models. I was just now thinking, when I was hearing Mr. Gupta, one problem that we have seen in the auto component industry, despite some impressive growth in your aftermarket sales also, which I saw in your presentation, we do recognize that a lot of the aftermarket has spurious products. I think as you move towards maybe 3 or 5 years of maintenance being built into your car cost or into your vehicle cost, you will find a lot of traction for that. I myself, every time I've purchased a car in the last 7-8 years, have preferred a car or a model where I had 5 or 7 years built-in insurance for all maintenance and any problems that I may have. Ideas such as these will help you improve the aftermarket presence of your industry and also give a delightful experience to your customers. In fact, I had a very interesting experience. I know initially it put me off, but afterwards I realized it was good that the company has that policy. I had bought a car a few years ago. Since I don't use government car for my own travel, I prefer to use a hybrid that I personally own. I wanted to put in the flag that we as ministers are required to have on our car. And I wanted to just have that flag put into the car, installed on my car, on the front of the car. I sent it to the company The sad part was they asked me for an arm and a leg to install that. I was quite taken aback. I told my guys, you can just go into a shop on the street corner and probably get it installed for probably half the price or even less. They said, sir, if we do that, the company then refuses to honor any commitment on the car's maintenance or warranties, because we would have engaged an outside person to install something on the car. Initially, I didn't feel good about it. I said, hey, they are charging so much, and on the other hand, they are saying that we should not mess around with the car, even though it's only installing something which is on the exterior of the car. But over a period of time, I realized, and finally, I never put any flagpole on the car, and I'm happy. Gives me a lot of anonymity. And in any case, the Honorable Prime Minister has now removed all the beacons and everything out of the car. All the red light culture is gone from governments, which is a great initiative and a great message for the people. But the good part is I realized that if, as a car owner, I started using, to save a few rupees, some components from the aftermarket, which is not an authorized supplier, I'll actually land up messing with the performance of the car. And therefore, I am now even doubly convinced that it was the right decision to focus on the OEM to service the car and maintain it in good shape. And frankly, my car, even though it's now probably 6 years old, is in excellent shape, but I don't allow anybody but the OEM to touch it. I think if you were to look at more affordability and more attractive ways, this aftermarket business can open up a lot of opportunities for you also. Of course, on export, I think with perseverance towards quality and bringing in scale, you will certainly become more export competitive. I will take up all the ideas that Mr. Gupta from McKinsey had presented for government to implement very seriously. In fact, the ideas are very good, but as Thomas Edison had said, the value of an idea lies in the using of it. And I think that applies to me in government as much as to all of you. So we'll certainly take the ideas forward very, very seriously and work together with your industry through your association, the ACMA, to really speed up the growth of your sector so that India and the Indian component industry, auto component industry, can emerge stronger, bolder, and much, much more powerful in its global engagement, expanding your footprints in newer markets and growing the existing markets that you are already serving. There's a huge demand out there for trusted partners in resilient global supply chains, and I see huge opportunities for many of you who have collaborations with Korea, with Japan, with European companies or engagement with them to expand your business and provide truly high quality products at competitive prices and become that trusted partner in global value chains. If you face any non-tariff barriers where government can be of any role, please do talk to us, to our officials, and we'll always be willing to partner you in your effort. Our missions across the world will also be very happy to support your efforts in expanding your global footprint. In fact, there are many areas where we can also reduce our dependency on imports, steel, tires. Yesterday we discussed electronic parts in a big way. In the railways, we are working to bring down the cost of logistics. We'll be happy to engage with your association for greater commitment of regular business and improvise on your freight rates to rationalize your logistics cost. And I like your approach of continuous improvement, continuous engagement. Because sometimes if you go for trying to become perfect, you delay and lose a lot of opportunities. Continuous improvement is always better than delayed perfection. In fact, Mark Twain had said that. And I'm glad to see that you are in that state of flux, in that state of learning on a continuous basis. And no better day than to receive this message than Teachers' Day. I think we are celebrating Teachers' Day today, and it's a great day to acknowledge all those in your industry who have really put in their heart and blood and soul in developing this industry and bringing it to the level of maturity that we see today. I mean, in a way, it's a day to bring in positivity into our crystal gazing of the future, move out of pessimism and look forward with hope and faith. I still remember that how our teachers in school used to always encourage every student to do better, to persevere, to put in that extra effort, to be able to meet the challenges of their careers ahead of them. The teacher never lost hope in his or her student. She always remained committed to get the best out of us students. And I believe that I see that same spirit in the members of ACMA, where you are looking to truly become a champion sector, engaging with the world for the best of technologies and making your industry vibrant participants in Atmanirbhar Bharat. Let's work with the spirit of collaboration, cooperation, and commitment, and compete with each other, compete with the rest of the world to grow with this confidence, with this collaborative approach, with this huge commitment. And I'm confident that success is waiting for you, is on the anvil. As they say, if we work together, we will go far. And I invite you to work with the government, to work with your customers, your stakeholders, your suppliers, and together let us make this a journey which has a huge big rainbow at the end of it. Let's all work together with confidence and with faith and trust in a very bright future that awaits India in the new normal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.